Welcome back to Easy Spirit 101. I hope you guys are doing really well. Um, Lately I've been just taking whatever messages are coming through from spirit. So usually they've been a general message. I don't know the next time we're gonna end up doing a twin flame check-in, but I may do one later this week. I haven't felt especially pushed. There's like other messages that want to come through. So that's what we're doing right now. Taking whatever is coming through. Could be for divine feminine. It could be for divine masculine. It could be for anyone drawn to the message anytime you are drawn to the message. So let's see. What does someone need to know right now? Indecision. What are we having indecision about? What is the indecision about? Service. I feel it's like more like, not that you don't know whether or not to be of service to others. It's more like this is coming out kind of as a balance of whether or not you're focusing on this aspect of things. And for some of you are making a decision or need to make a decision to go towards a career or a job where you feel of service to others. I feel good when I can help others. Yeah, because affects your happiness. Someone out there really will be more happy if they go into a job or a career um, where they're being of service to others. I feel like this is someone who's kind of maybe a bit in denial about this aspect. There's an element of fear attached to whatever job you're working or income that you have. You may even be experiencing other people who are blaming you for their unhappiness, or you may be finding yourself sometimes blaming others for your unhappiness. But really, you would lift your own vibration. This is someone who's coming through who has a lot of humanitarian qualities, but you're not acting out on them. You're not incorporating this into what you do with most of your time. And I am picking up on someone who, you have a regular, might even be like a 9 to 5 job, some sort of just very steady. And that's what you like about it. I'm getting that it's steady. It's comfort. But you're not happy and things are occurring because of that. Yeah, because you lack the trust you need. There's a lack of trust that you need to have to be able to take that leap. My best advice for you with that is to start praying to your guides, to your spirit team, of how you can make this transition. If you know this is for you, you are someone who really gets a big boost from helping others. You love to help others. You love humanitarian type pursuits. And I do feel like this is someone here who needs to incorporate more of this. Maybe you love your job. Maybe you love your job and your job is not really anything that's specifically of service to others in a way that makes you feel content. And in that case, this is about finding more, like balancing your time a little bit more to where you can do some sort of charity work or something like that that lifts you up. Something where you're of service to others. This card like was doing this. So this is this indecision. Look at this. Doubt in reverse. And then this, but there's this lack of trust too. Someone feels confident about what they're doing, or you might even feel confident about moving into a business of service, but you're lacking that trust that you need to take the leap of faith, or you're even lacking your maybe you're living in lack. You might be doubting your inner voice here. Yeah, you're afraid to take some sort of leap of faith here. And there's no harm in that. That's something a lot of us struggle with and are going through, and that's a big thing of when you need to shift your focus really onto that idea of trusting and knowing that God is the source. I was just reflecting on this earlier today. So it's funny that this message is coming out. There's a big element of struggling because of the way society is forged. It's the way that it's set up to be, really causes us to lose sight of giving God credit, giving the universe credit for the abundance that we have, and knowing that there's enough, and knowing that it's not tied to anything specifically with some one person or two, three people. It's more about I give myself of service, I do my work, it makes me happy, and I trust that God takes care of my needs. That's really what it's boiled down to, and that's very hard for all of us to kind of wrap our brains around these days with the way everything is. But this is a reminder to get back into that and to focus on that and to trust that that is true. Yeah, like someone here I feel is there, someone here is surrounded by people who are struggling with the same issue. Whoever you are, you're a very creative person, but because of this job or whatever, yeah, surrender. Surrender. I release my need to control. You're trying to control this situation. Surrender is very much about what we were just talking about, like trusting that if I do this thing, if I follow my heart, if I take on a path that will give me more joy, that's one of the best ways to allow more abundance to come towards me. I know it's a scary leap, and when it's a scary leap, that's when you start asking, show me the signs, guide me towards how to do it. Take your time. You don't have to make this shift overnight, but even if you start making baby steps to make this shift today, you might be in this place where you want to be over the next couple of years, or maybe even sooner for some of you, depending on, it really is all about, can I believe, can I trust, do I have faith that all of my needs will be taken care of if I start doing this thing I feel called to do, specifically because you are someone who is very creative, and you're not utilizing this aspect of yourself, which incidentally is kind of causing a cycle, with this fear surrounding your career, surrounding what you're afraid to lose, and what you're not feel like you can't gain, or whatever these blocks and barriers you're putting on this is partly from like not being in your creative self. You're not using your creative energy here. It's imagination in reverse, and you are attracting more people. Like a lot of your friends and the people you surround yourself with are more of the type of people who are in the same place. They do the same kind of job you do, they have the same kind of beliefs and restrictions around whatever this is, the same kind of something, but you don't feel fulfilled, and you may even kind of doubt your own friends. You may even be worried about, if you make this transition, you're afraid you're going to lose certain kinds of friends. Sometimes that happens But do you want to hang on to someone over a lack of your own happiness, over feeling inside of yourself like you're meant to be honoring some sort of path or some sort of something that you're feeling called to do, and you're not doing it because you're afraid to lose this one or two people? This new path here is going to come along with, again, that leap of faith. It's going to bring in the finances. It's going to bring in more when you are honoring um, this service that's kind of written on your soul, that's written on your heart. When you are honoring your true light, your authenticity within yourself, especially if you're very creative and you're meant to be using this creative, I embrace and nourish the creative aspect of my mind. You're meant to be utilizing this creativity in the work that you do. Taking that leap is going to bring the rewards, including friends that are more aligned with you. This could be more about being afraid of being alone or something to that effect. That's that's something coming right out underneath of denial. Again, denial talking about fear. I acknowledge my fear, but instead I replace it with the insight of awareness. This is all about taking a huge, big trust leap of faith. Really am getting specifically, this is about someone who's probably kind of not very happy or fulfilled with their career path. Again, this is about decisions here. In this context, this is balance, this is decisions. This is decisions that put you potentially on the right path, a return to good health. Yeah, this is someone who's meant to, whoever you are, if this is resonating with you, these strong cards here, this is Temperance, this is the Lovers, this is the Strength card. These are all majors here. Um, and Justice. Oh my gosh. Yeah, you're very likely you're a divine. You are part of the divine collective. You have a journey, you have a mission kind of to do, and your soul, that makes sense why I haven't we're not getting to these yet, but this always comes out for me, for someone who is meant to do something special here, okay? You have a calling to work with spirit. Um, you may even feel it on your heart, but you're afraid. You're very afraid to take the leap. You might be stuck in something. I'm getting someone is stuck. You may even literally be, I don't know why I heard banker. You might even be like a banker, but your soul, your heart is like, I am more than a banker. Or I don't know. I don't know what it is, but that could be for somebody or something along those lines. No hate against bankers. Some of you out here are meant to be, um, you know, you're meant to go all the way with your bank. And I appreciate, I have a banker that is very, 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 very in touch, and he's a high spirit person, and I appreciate my banker. Like, that's no joke. I have a banker I appreciate. So people have a position where they are meant to be. Just clarifying, no hate on that. There's no hate on different kinds of jobs. This is for someone who feels called to do something different, to kind of change up everything, to utilize their creativity, maybe even change their friend group. Maybe your friends, your people you're tying yourself to at this time are holding you back from your purpose. I'm talking to someone here who I can clearly tell has like a purpose, and you are afraid to take the leap of faith into your purpose. And there is a lot coming out for this. Okay. So again, we have this decision here, this indecision. This decision will put you on the correct path. And it is kind of one of those things of do something that you're afraid to do. I literally have a quote that I've had on my refrigerator for the past almost 20 years, and it's do one thing you fear to do each day. This is literally someone who feels afraid to do something major, but you are meant, whatever this thing is that you're afraid to do, you are meant to start asking. You see them sitting and listening to this wise old man's advice here. These little children are listening. You are meant to start asking your team, your angels, whoever that you pray to, or start praying if you don't, to show you signs, to show you steps to take, to close doors that are not meant for you, to open doors that are meant for you, to make sure that you hear clearly, that you know what you are doing, you know which direction to go in. This leap is going to require you to be really strong in your spiritual, it's going to require you to tap into your spiritual strength to take this leap of faith. But when you do this, you are being watched over, you are being highly protected. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not for everybody, but a lot of us who end up having to take some sort of difficult leap of faith, it can be uncomfortable, but know that you're meant to stay strong and you will get through it. And the more positive you are in all of these things, the easier it goes. The more prepared you are, the more connected you are, the more you can keep yourself from avoiding fear and avoiding lack and all those things. There's someone coming in you're meant to work with here. There's someone that you might even meet someone when you change your career. Yeah, with the Magician next to the two of some of you may end up, it's funny because I was talking about the counterparts earlier, you might meet your counterpart after you take this leap of faith that you're afraid to take. And this is like huge wishes coming true. Nine of Cups coming out next to Two of Cups. Lovers, Two of Cups. Very likely someone's going to end up meeting their divine counterpart along the way. But this indecision is heavy. All of this here is a lack of balance and about a decision. There's 4 cards here talking about how this could even be pointing towards your fear, the indecision here, indecision holding you back, feeling trapped between the intellectual and the emotional. You're so afraid to take this leap. There's like, again, remember when this first came out, I said this is some sort of major choice that when you make, it's going to put you on something big, and you've got this, you're going to end up working. This doesn't even have to be a love relationship. This could be that you're meant to find you're meant to meet someone along your path that you are meant to do something with here that is huge. It's huge. This is like really, really meant to be. But you're afraid, again, afraid to take the leap. You might even be afraid of the challenges. You're like, these challenges that could come along with this shift here. But again, you are being guided to listen to your heart at this time. This is part of what this leap is about. They want you to follow your heart. They want you, even the dreamer here. This is a new beginning, but this card is also called the dreamer. You are being guided to kind of trust, have faith, tap into your spiritual strength and say, like, I can do this. Well, I'm prepared for whatever comes my way because I know that I am meant to do this. I am meant to kind of follow my dreams here and really make kind of a huge change. It's going to be a huge change, I can tell. Some of you are afraid of taking huge changes and huge risks. Again, you can step into this like baby steps if you need to. That's all about why you get the guidance to see how far you need to leap and how far you need to not leap. Yeah, this is talking about when you react to fear with love. When you change your, like every time the fear pops up, it's putting you in this huge indecisive state here, or this huge imbalance here. When the fear pops up and then you speak love to it, this is how you change what's going on inside of you. Inner alchemy is what it's saying. It's kind of shifting your inner world to help you take the steps you need to take in your outer world to help you raise your vibration. You're going to have to raise your vibration to overcome the kind of fear that you are feeling. And at this point, when it's such a huge shift that you're kind of afraid to make, I think it's good to start like get down your pen and paper and start jotting, start brainstorming. What kind of lifestyle changes am I okay with making? What kind am I not? Where do I have room to where do I have the room to make sacrifices? Or you know what I mean? Like, where do I have room to adjust something so I can move in this direction? Just start brainstorming. Even your spirit team can come along and get in that brainstorm session with you. You could come up with an idea you never saw coming. This is you here. You might even literally be a water sign. Doesn't have to be. You might have strong water sign placement, even possibly in your Chinese zodiac. So check your element there with your Chinese zodiac. It is time to reveal your light to the world. The Queen of Cups is very, very unconditionally loving and full of light and full of heart. Taking care of others you love. This, I'm talking to someone who loves to help other people. Again, creation, being creative. You are meant to use your creativity and your love, in your love for helping others. You are meant to be doing something with this. This is like confirming over and over and over again. Yeah, you might be doubting yourself at this time. This card is a little bit, this part of this is self-doubt here. You don't trust that you have inside what you need, what it takes to make this shift, to make this jump. But it says, most importantly, you are enough. You are amazing, magnificent, and unique. Most importantly, you are enough. You might even need to, I don't wanna I'm trying to think of how to say this. Again, use whatever, fill in the blank. Fill in the blank. I don't want to say anything that would be insulting or something. I'm not trying to do that. Again, every job has its purpose. I'm getting someone though who's like their whole life kind of surrounds around, like, this is someone who kind of feels inside of themselves that they're meant for something else, while everyone else around them, especially this like friendship group, is on this one like straight and narrow path, and you're kind of being guided to, and at this is, there's something to look at here, because when you're kind of keep hanging around a certain kind of energy, this energy could be all about the same fear that you're experiencing. Everyone in this group could be people who operate out of fear, instead of basically what you're being asked to do is operate out of trust and faith instead. So someone here is being guided to kind of look at your friend group a little bit, handle that accordingly. You know what I mean? Yes, sometimes you have to be willing to change up the people around you as you make this shift or this change, but it is worth it in the end. We have had surrender come out twice now. Surrender your need to control the outcome, and just just trust. Just trust that it's going to work out okay. Yeah, liberation. This is definitely what we're talking about for someone here. And again, I know Two of Cups came out. You might end up meeting as you make this shift. Maybe you are going to meet someone that you're going to end up having a romantic relationship with. But just for the sake of this reading, this is really focused on someone's sort of lifestyle, where someone spends most of their time. And I am getting through this could be just someone really, you're really meant to work with someone, like you have like a business partner or something here coming in your future that's going to change your whole world. Very much fated, very much meant to be. And to get there, to get to this point, you're going to have to liberate yourself from where you are at this time. You're meant to be a leader here, and part of this is making this wise leadership decision now. This is part of the kind of difficult decision a leader might have to make, is something as big as this leap of faith, embracing your dreams here, embracing your true purpose, taking this whole major shift. And again, if you really like, you really feeling more and more stronger, even just starting to brainstorm about it now, and don't put on, again, surrender the timeline. Don't, don't worry too much about how it's going to turn out, as long as you just start making moves or steps in that direction. Yeah, this, you're going to end up going through this in between kind of place here. And when you do, and when you're feeling afraid and feeling stuck on moving forward, this is where your meditation comes in, to get really still and get really quiet. You will find a lot of divine guidance in that time. And also peace. Being at peace and being calm can help manifestations run smoothly. We've got wisdom out here and wise leader. You're someone who's very wise. You are really meant to use your all of these things that are magnificent. That card. This is you here. This is for you. All of these things about you. This wisdom, this love, this creativity. You might even be the type of person that has a healing presence. You are meant to do something with that. You are meant to go somewhere with that, outside of whatever it is that you feel kind of bound. I'm getting someone feels bound to what they're doing at this time. Yeah, the moon, as I'm saying that, the moon comes out. The moon can very much be about fears, things unseen, things underneath the surface. These are very much some of your fears coming into play. You feel bound to whatever, wherever, or whatever you're doing for work or something at this time. I am really strongly getting through someone feels bound to the job that they are doing, yet part of why you are here is because you feel meant for more. It might even be a secret for you that you watch videos like this. You might not even share that with this friend group, which I'm telling you, that's a sign for you. Yeah, communion. Yeah, it's time to leave the past, and this is going to end up being what you're going through right now is going to end up just. I almost feel like whoever you are, what you feel bound to, you feel afraid to leave it behind, like it will all be for nothing. This is for someone maybe who has put a lot of work into what and where they are. I'm going to use an example here, and correct me. I don't know specific details, but I'm still going to use this example. Some of you know, some of you don't know. Let me get this deck here. This man who made this deck, Radley, I think his name's pronounced Radley, Radley Valentine, he used to be an accountant. I think for a really long time too. He used to be an accountant before again, he's someone who had to make this leap. He felt called in this direction. He felt called to be living this kind of life and having that kind of connection and studying those kinds of things. And even if it's not, I'm pretty sure it's accounting, but it's something specific to that. Like it very much, I worked a desk job kind of thing. And true story, I saw this in an interview with him. Um, this is what we're talking about here. This is exactly what we're talking about here. And for someone, I feel you're really afraid to take this leap. You're afraid to leave behind everything that you feel you worked for, this whole life that you've made. And what it is the things that you have learned and the things that um, it wasn't all for nothing. Some of these skills that you grew and took from this career that you've been in is going to be still beneficial to where you are going moving forward. So you don't ever have to feel like something was all for nothing. Let's get some final messages here. I don't know how long. Yeah. Hang in there with me. Thank you all for watching. Those of you who hang in on the longer videos, I appreciate it. All your likes and your comments. Feel free to use a comment board as for you. Y'all can talk to each other on a comment board. You can talk to me on the comment board. Subscribers, of course, I appreciate that. I do have goals in mind for our channel. And I do say our as in all of us because I am here for you. This is why I do this. And for me, I was thinking about this yesterday. Sometimes if a message comes through and it's resonating with something I'm going through at the time, a lot of times Spirit is kind of talking through me. So through me to, out into the message here. And sometimes I'm like, I'm taking it, I'll go sit and do a journal. I'll be like, well, that's a journal prompt that I'm going to act on today. Okay, so what are the few final messages here? There we go. Yep. It's all coming together. Intuitive hits, soul tribe. This is part of what we're talking about here. You're going to end up kind of leaving this behind and moving towards your what you're meant to be doing. Intuitive hits. This is about trusting these little things that are coming through in your intuition. What are you being called to journey to? This is someone who you really know you're being called and drawn into a different direction, and you're a bit afraid to do it. And this is saying, again, I said earlier that once you start making this transition, you will have help along the way. You will be, this is your angelic protection here. This is your spirit team to help. If you are called to do something, you are meant to do it. There is divine orchestration, helpers in the subtle realm. You will have help along the way. You might even already be taking steps, but you keep backing out. This says right here that to stop overthinking, or you may even be like worrying. I did just get before this card came out that along the way, if you start worrying about things or you're worrying it's not working out, you're going to be guided to just, kind of put your mind at peace and not worry and not overthink. This is what we were talking about earlier. Something around you, something in your life is not aligned with who you are, what your needs are, what you're being called to do. Again, someone here, it's this right here is making this decision and making this move transition harder to make because you're really concerned about losing some of these people, or I'm mostly getting losing some of these people. Some of them you might be concerned about what they think. Part of the reason you feel so strongly about these people is because you are this Queen of Cups energy. You are very loving, you are very caring. You deeply love and care very much about every single one of these people who are in your group, your friend group, which is beautiful. And I will tell you, if they are your true friends, they are going to support you no matter which direction you turn into. Now, if someone starts kind of scoffing at what you're doing, they're insulting you, they're putting their nose up at you, well, that's not very loving. And going in this direction, we're more kind of focused on treating each other in a loving, respectful way. So, again, at that point, you should be okay to let people like that go. They are not aligned. They are not aligned with what you were doing, where you were going. Again, this min I don't know how to say that, mintaken, longing for home belonging. You're really concerned about this group of friends. You're concerned about like being alone. You're concerned about fitting in with somebody here. Don't be afraid to let people go who are not treating you, in the highest honor and with love and with respect. We have unbound on the bottom, releasing soul patterns, contracts, and people from your past. You might even been like part of why you were on this particular path or journey with somebody here, or with some sort of career, or something had something to do with your past, and you've resolved it. You've reached a place where it's time to tune into the portal. This is tune into the portal of your heart. This is to honor yourself, your inner temple. It's like honoring your true path here. And this almost was like this, but kind of very slowly flipped. So you don't really struggle too much with the worrying and things about where you're headed, or when you feel like you need to make a transition. But there is an element, I'm getting really that this is going to come in. I'm honestly getting that, yeah, birthing new creations on the bottom, dreaming a new world into being on top of the dreamer. This coming out near that dreamer card here. And what I'm saying is I'm really getting that part of this worry here that's popping up is actually gonna start coming in. You're gonna experience some of this. And again, that's almost scary to tell you because you're experiencing fear about making this jump because of this. But again, you're being reminded that you have helpers here. It is going to be okay. You're going to be carried through the transition. Take it as slow or as fast as you feel called to, as you feel comfortable with. You are going to maybe start getting a little worry or panic a little bit here and there along the way. Your answer for this is to just do what you need to do to get grounded, whatever it takes to get grounded, to get back focused in the present, and to get out of your head about it. Worrying mostly comes from your ego, from your brain. So if you just stay focused on your actions, on what you're doing, like say I hold this rock and I get really, really focused on how it feels, what it looks like, that is literally a way to get grounded. stay very focused on what you are doing. That's why they recommend going outside a lot, because literally just a feeling of grass beneath your toes, etc., really brings you back down to earth very quickly and out of your head. So it is going to be okay. I'm not going to lie, you probably are going to get a little bit worried here and there, moving on and taking this leap, but you are being guided to do this. This is a confirmation for someone. Take it easy. You can just literally start brainstorming now and asking for signs and direction, and do some journaling, maybe make up some sort of, use divine to help you come up with a plan, right? We don't want to plan too much all on our own, because that can sometimes God has his own plans. I know a lot about that kind of experience. So you can always ask for help to come up with a game plan about where you can take your first step. There's a lot of confirmation in here. This is like a huge, strong message came out in the beginning and just reiterated over and over again. So this is someone's confirmation that whatever you're feeling called to be doing, something creative, something like a humanitarian type of venture, something you feel helps other people, it's time to get going on it. It's time to work on it. That is definitely a yes. You're going to have to kind of find a way to ease into this shift. You can either even pray and ask for help. Help me, please. Prepare me. Prepare me what you have coming for me. Prepare me for what you have meant for me, is what you can do here. So I hope you guys enjoyed this reading. I hope this reading gets to whoever this is for. And you guys have a wonderful day. I'll see you again next time.